Jesus, the Good Shepherd. Shepherding, as you know, is not such a noble profession, because shepherds, they look after sheep and goat and cattle. My very first appointment as a priest, I worked among the semi-nomadic people of northeastern Uganda, Karamoja, you know Karamoja, where to them life is cattle and goats and sheep. And when we talk of a shepherd or a good shepherd, the first thing that always comes to my mind are the Karamojans. Why? Because their life rotates around that. When a child is born, they already start learning how to look after cattle. That's why you see a very small kid of 2 years driving a very big cow, and the cow is listening to that small kid. And for a Karamojan, they would prefer to lose their life than lose their cattle. Even one single goat. Somebody will defend their goat with their life. This is not fiction. And for them to slaughter one goat is next to impossibility. To slaughter and eat, or to sell to pay school fees. No. That is a holy thing. Maybe things are changing now. So when I hear this reading of Good Shepherd, I only think of how good they are in that aspect, and how ready they can be to die even in defense of their goats and cattle. I remember I even one staying with me, and since I'm trying to raise some few goats around the compound here, and he had a particular sound that he would make, and the goats will start bleating. I used to laugh. I tried to learn how to do the sound, but I failed. And the goats that you have here, you know, when it reaches a time, they know they have to go out and eat. And if it reaches that time, you don't release them, they start knocking at the door. So somebody has to go and open for them to go and eat. So when Jesus is talking about being a shepherd, he's talking about something we know. He's using an imagery that is very close to us. And shepherds in the time of Jesus were also nobodies. They were considered to be wild people, or violent, or impure, or dishonest, and their evidence could never be accepted in courts. But see, at the birth of Jesus, who are the first to pay him visit? The shepherds. Who are the first to receive the good news? The shepherds. The humble ones, the lowly ones, which Jesus identifies with them. He befriends them at his birth. And during this week, we have heard Jesus talking so much about, I am the bread of life. I am the bread. And today, he says, I am the gate. And if we continue in that passage, he goes on to say, I am the good shepherd. Today he is the gate to the sheepfold. No one can enter to the sheep except he lets them in. You are used to doors. If you build a house and you do not have a door, then you cannot enter. We know the importance of a door in any house. Without a door, you cannot access the house. And even without the keys to enter the door, you are stuck. You remain outside. So, Jesus is the good shepherd, the gate to where his sheep is. And he leads them, and the sheep listens to his voice. The sheep know his voice. So he calls each by name. And that is why even for us becoming Christians, we are called to belong to that family of God through Jesus Christ. Everything has to be through Christ. Even remember the prayers, all our prayers in church, when we pray to God, what do we say? Through Christ our Lord. Because Christ is the gateway to the Father. He is the one through whom we pass to go to the Father. We are the flock. We follow him, the good shepherd, wherever he leads us. As we heard in the psalm today, Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. He leads us to green pastures, to fresh waters. He heals the wounded. He carries those that cannot walk. He gives them water, defends them from the wolf. And like the Karamojons, he doesn't slaughter his sheep. But the sheep are invited to listen to the voice of the shepherd, to follow the shepherd. In our world today, there are so many voices, a lot of noise around us. How can we differentiate the voice of the Master from other voices? We can only do that if we are close to him, if we are one with him, if we listen to his word each and every day of our lives and we act accordingly, then we will be able to differentiate between the voice of Christ and other voices, the voice of the Good Shepherd. When he whistles, we know there is the man whistling to us. We will not be deceived. There are so many people who have come up like shepherds, but they are wolves in shepherd's skin, or wolves in sheep's skin, deceiving us left, right, and center. False prophets, false pastors and preachers. How can you differentiate those voices from the genuine voice of Christ? We must build a relationship with him, as the shepherd has a relationship with his flock, and the flock follow him. And also, when any sheep or goat or cattle gets lost, they cry out. When they are away from the fold, you can just know that one is lost, because they start crying. And when the shepherd hears the voice of the crying sheep, he goes out to look for them. How many times do we cry out when we are lost? Or we prefer to get lost where we are? But the good news is that Christ looks for us wherever we are lost. But we have to make an effort, cry out that we are lost somewhere. One sheep is getting lost. Remember, even in his parables, he says, a man with 100 sheep losing one will go out to look for that one while leaving the 99. Because he knows each by name and he doesn't want to lose any of us. Even in the situation where we are at now, he is aware. We might feel like we are lost in this pandemic, but he is aware. He is searching for us wherever we are. Yes, there are shepherds who come in as thieves, who come in as robbers, who climb out to steal the sheep. And that is why even in our world today, there are many of such. Our leaders, they eat the food that is meant for the sheep. There are shepherds now who have gone out to be eating the sheep's food. Those are the thieves and the robbers Jesus is talking about. They deceive the people. Governments that are supposed to look after people, help them, they're instead eating up the food of the people. Corruption killing us everywhere. In our homes, we do the same. We don't care. Can we listen to the voice of the Master calling us to be attentive, to do the right thing? We are all leaders in different capacities. How do we lead the people entrusted to us? Can we follow the example of the Good Shepherd wherever we are? Among the Jewish people, there were leaders as such, and God sent them the prophet Jeremiah to remind them, I will give you shepherds after my own heart, who will lead my people with wisdom and knowledge. Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 15. God is calling each and every one of us, apart from being a sheep, also to be a good shepherd to those who have been called upon to lead. Let us ask for the grace that we need to be attentive to the voice of the Master, to follow him closely, but also to lead others back to him. Because there is no way we can go to the Father except through him. He is the gate. There is no way. Life without him is useless, completely empty. So as good sheep, I don't know whether we are sheep or we are goats or we are what. Choose whatever you want to be. But let us follow. Let us listen to the voice of the Master, the chief shepherd, who leads us all unto God. And let us pray that during this period, even in our deepest anxieties, we may hear the voice of Christ calling out to us as a good shepherd, leading us unto God, comforting us in our different sorrows at the moment, the depression, the isolation, the loneliness. Let us hear his voice comforting us in our different situations, reminding us that everything is going to be fine, that we are going to be healed, as we heard in the second reading from the first letter of St. Peter. By his wounds we have been healed, because we have strayed like sheep, but have now returned to the shepherd, who is the guardian of our souls. May his grace be upon us. Amen.